This video is brought to you by TrueFire. Over 2 million guitar players worldwide improve their playing using TrueFire's online lesson systems. Learn, practice, and play with TrueFire. Hey everybody, today let's explore the fretboard and learn how to jam in the key of D major. Your practice routine looks and sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's break that down. Okay, getting started breaking that down. My goal for today is to teach you how to mix up various styles and solo positions as you jam over a 1-4-5 progression in the key of D. So that's D major, G major, and A major with this sort of rhythm, D major. To a G major, to an A major, and back to D major. Okay, getting started with lick number 1. Remember, you can download my tabs at patreon.com/swiftlessons. There you're gonna find bonus resources for all my popular YouTube guitar lessons. Okay, lick number 1 is gonna look and sound like this. Alright, so whenever I jump into a solo, my mindset is pretty simple. I'm gonna look for a chord shape and also a scale position to help guide my melody. So if I'm playing in the key of D major, I've got another D major shape right here in the barred position. Additionally, I have the D major scale. Overlapping with that chord shape. Okay, from there, my next goal is to produce a melody line that is hummable, something that is memorable and is going to stick in the listener's head. Okay, so there I have this. Alright, so I slid up to the 7th fret of the B string, went down to 5, 7 on the G, back to 5 on the B, letting those notes ring past each other. Alright, back to 7 on the G string, 6, down to 4, back up to 6, and then as I get into the next measure, I'm going to drone on the open D string. Very cool technique. Adds a little bit of robustness to your playing as I go back to the 7th fret of the G string, that root note, D. All right, put that first lick together and we have. All right, I can add in some extra strums. Making sure to keep my pick alternating. Okay, so one more time, D major. Okay, that gets us to the next lick, which I absolutely love. It's an arpeggio lick over the chord D major. Picture in this bar chord shape. Sounds like this. Now real slow. Okay, so I started off on the 4th fret of the A string. That's the major 7th in this key. Hammering up to the 5th fret. And then going to the major 3rd of the chord, 4th fret of the D string, sliding up to the 7th fret, where now I'm in this little kind of barred major triad position, just an A chord transposed to the key of D. So far you have. All right, I'm going to pick the 7th fret of the G string with my index finger barred before pulling off 8 down to 7 on the B string, and then going back the way I came. Alright, stopping on the 5th fret of the D string, so. Alright, you put the full lick together and we have real slow. And putting licks 1 and 2 together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, from there, we're going to go to the next chord, G major, but we're going to picture it in its C-shaped position. Alright, where I have another position of the major scale. This time in the key of G. Over the chord, I'm going to play a nice country lick. that serves as a transition to the next chord, A major. One more time real slow. Okay, so the first half of that lick, we're gonna get a little country with it. 10th fret of the A string. All right, then minor third to major third. That's gonna be the 8th fret of the D string, hammering up to 9. All right, then the G string, 7 up to 9. And then to the 8th fret of the B string with a little vibrato. All right, then we're gonna descend down. All right, so that was the 8th fret of the B string, down to 7. All right, then we're gonna play alternate 9, 7, 9, 7 on the G string before descending down chromatically. That's the end of the measure right there. And then getting into the next lick, we're going to the A note to set up a lick over A major. Okay, you put that full lick together and we have. Okay, and licks 1 through 3 together should sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Arpeggio. Alright, now here we are, parked on an A note, the 7th fret of the D string. That's going to set up a lick over A major, which real slow looks and sounds like this. Okay, of course we're going to be sliding up to the 14th fret of the G string next to set up a descending lick over D. So we're going to get used to that. But the lick over A is just... Alright, pretty advanced stuff here. I'm picturing an A chord in its D-shaped position. And I'm also picturing the major pentatonic scale in the key of A. Remember, you can always find a major pentatonic scale, or at least identify one, because it'll sound like the riff from My Girl. Right? Alright, so from there I'm going to play the 7th fret of the D string, slide from 9 up to 11, the 9th fret of the G string, up to 11, then I'm going to arpeggiate 10th fret of the B string, up to the 9th fret high E, walking chromatically, up to 12. So far you have. Alright, then an arpeggio. I slid up to the 9th fret of the high E string, 10th fret B, and then the 9th fret of the G string. I'm just picturing A major played as a D shape. Before going to the 12th fret of the D string to end the lick. Alright, you put that lick together and we have... So important to keep the pick alternating. Okay, sometimes you might want to do a brush stroke, just letting the pick drop. Right there, as you're going down these 3 notes. Then alternate it again. And then alternate for that last arpeggio. Okay, licks 1 through 4. Arpeggio over D. Country lick over G. A. Alright, from there we're going to close up shop playing. Kind of borrowing some ideas from Indian Raga. Okay, so to get this final segment down, we need to learn how to play the major scale on a single string, the G string, playing from the 5th interval up to the octave of the 5th interval on the 14th fret. Looks and sounds like this. So very, very simple. I'm playing the 2nd fret of the G string, 4, 6, 7, 9, 11, 12, and 14. Now the trick I'm using is I'm descending down that scale, alternating with the open D string, letting it drone against those notes. Okay, and I'm sliding from fret to fret. Okay, so the lick one more time sounds like this. Okay, so it started off sliding up to the 14th fret of the G string, playing that note with the open D. From there, we're going to play bass, bass. So, all right, from there, it's very simple. Just sliding down fret to fret in the scale, alternating with the open D string. So, eventually, you're going to have to switch to the index finger so you can turn back around. What fret you do that on is up to you. Once you've gotten to the 2nd fret of the G string, you're going to go up the way you came, slide from 4 up to 6 on the G string, and then bend the G string so that way it's up a half step, playing a D note that you would find here on the 7th fret of the G string. It's going to match the open D string to create this very cool kind of Ravi Shankar kind of effect. All right, if you want to make it a little bit spookier, you can throw in the flatted 5th, which has some really great dissonance. All right, so you put that lick together and we have all right, and the entire routine should sound like this, starting from lick number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Arpeggio. G. A. D. Bend. All right, for your full practice routine. All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed learning these tips for jamming in the key of D major. Remember, the next time you're writing a solo, it's going to be very helpful to picture the chord shapes in their various positions, to transpose the scale patterns, so that way you're creating licks that follow the chord progression. You also want to make sure that you're singing or humming these licks that you're trying to create. That way you're playing licks that are going to stick with your listener. I want to thank my patrons for making all these lessons possible. I hope you're enjoying those extra resources. And thanks to you guys, I got many more lessons coming up. So keep checking in. Please subscribe. Please share. This is Rob at Swift Guitar Lessons in Philadelphia, saying happy picking.